I spent $4,700 on a communication course because the sales page said I'd learn to command any room. I learned 7 hand gestures. I still couldn't ask a real question. Stop listening to your own voice in your head for a second and listen to mine. What I'm about to show you will decide whether you spend the next year performing monologues or finally having a conversation that does leave you feeling hollow. You know the knot. You're mid-sentence, delivering your perfectly crafted point, and you see their eyes glaze over. You finish anyway. The silence after you speak is thick. You can feel the act collapsing. You're the person people describe as intense or a lot, and you hate it because you know it's code for inauthentic. Your chest gets tight before you even walk into the room because you're already rehearsing. You are borrowing opinions like spare change, and everyone can hear the rattle. If you click off this video right now, that performance runs on a loop. 1 year from today, you'll be in the same spot, wondering why your network feels like a house of cards. You were one of maybe 10 people watching this. YouTube buries this raw audit because the algorithm hates content that does have a brand deal behind it. If you were here, you were already in a tiny minority that does just consume cope. So do me a favor. Pause this and drop a comment. Just type thread or real. It tells the algorithm actual humans are here, which is the only way this channel survives. Otherwise, the next video gets 5 views and I go back to staring at a wall. The root problem is a cognitive strategy called impression management overload. Your brain, under pressure to be impressive, picks the low-energy heuristic. Scripting. It's easier to recite a pre-approved line than to do the expensive work of real-time listening. This creates a detectable dissonance. People sense the lack of emotional cadence, the slight delay as you search your mental archive. You are trading short-term ease for the long-term cost of being seen as a recording. The fix is the Reactive Listening Framework. This is a 3-part protocol designed to force your brain out of scripting and into engagement. The rule is simple. You are forbidden from introducing any pre-prepared talking point. Your only job is to react to the last thing the other person said. The mechanism leverages conversational thread theory. Your entire focus must be on identifying the single most salient point in their statement, the thread, and pulling on it exclusively. The time frame is per interaction. You run this from hello to goodbye in any conversation you want to matter. Here is how you execute it, starting tonight. This is the first move. Identify. When someone speaks, your only task is to find the core thread. Is it a feeling, a goal, a problem, stated fact? Don't plan your reply. Just hunt for that one thing. Psychologically, this is called attentional anchoring. You are tying your focus to their output, not your own. Second, validate. You hit the thread with a microaffirmation. That sounds exhausting. So the main obstacle is X. This is not agreement. It's acknowledgement. This triggers reciprocity. When you validate, you are giving a social gift. The subconscious pressure on them to give back, to keep talking, to reveal more, increases. Third, and this is the part most people quit before reaching, you inquire. You ask a thread-pulling question. What made that so important to you? What's the hardest part about that? Your question must stem directly from the thread you just validated. This creates cognitive ease for them. The conversation feels seamless, effortless, and deeply focused on them. You are not performing, you are conducting. This loop, identify, validate, inquire, is a framework. You are not having a conversation. You are running a deliberate operation on your own attention. The goal is to make your listening so visible, the other person forgets they are being listened to. If you are still watching, you are already different from the 95% who folded at the first sign of actual work. The fact that you are here means you are tired of the performance. Now, the scarcity principle. You have about 90 days before this scripting habit calcifies into your permanent personality. The window to rewire is now. Commit to running this framework in your next 3 conversations. Any 3. The commitment escalation starts small. Pause this and say out loud one relationship where you know you were performing. Just say it. Now you've admitted it. The next step is to apply the framework there. This is where every other channel would sell you a $997 course on charisma. Cope Ledger does have one. No mentorship. No apply to work with me. The name means we keep the receipts. We do not run the scam. I'm telling you what I burned $4,700 to learn. Free. The least you could do is hit subscribe. With 5 subscribers, every single one of you is a legend. Be number 6. It's the only thing that keeps me making these instead of going back to rehearsing hand gestures. Here is your comment ladder. I want to see how many of you are running the same loop. Comment guilty if you caught yourself scripting a reply while I was talking. Comment free if you already practice something like this. I'm reading both. In 30 days, you'll notice conversations feel less exhausting because you've stopped mentally rehearsing while someone talks. In 6 months, people will begin to describe you as perceptive because you are. In 2 years, the brittle network built on performance gets replaced by a smaller, robust web of genuine allies. The scripts don't disappear. They become tools you no longer need. You are not boring. You rehearsed. There's a difference. Your social skills are fake because you chose the safety of a script over the vulnerability of a real reaction. That detectable facade is a choice you make dozens of times a day. You can choose to turn the monologue off and let the conversation in. The choice is yours. Keep performing or start reacting. Don't subscribe if you are not ready to do the work. Hit dislike if you think this is too simple. The people who need this most are usually the most offended.